Good day, grade 10. Mrs. Vallejos here, your science teacher. In this video, I am going to give you a run-through of the module in Science 10 for week number 5. The title of our module for week 5 is Plate Tectonics, Processes and Landforms Along Plate Boundaries. It begins with an introduction. It states there, geologic processes are naturally occurring events that directly or indirectly impact the geology of the Earth. Plate boundaries play a vital role in shaping the Earth. Many important geologic processes occur along plate boundaries. Hence, we call plate boundaries as action sites. Examples of geologic processes are earthquakes that occur on a daily basis around the world, volcanic eruptions, the formation of mountains, and the formation of oceanic trenches. The movement of plates create the three types of tectonic boundaries. We already know about them, namely convergent plate boundary, wherein two plates collide with each other or they move toward each other. The second type, we call it as divergent plate boundary, wherein the two plates will move away from each other or move apart from each other. And the third type, we call it the transform fault boundary, wherein the plates will not move toward each other, they will not also move away from each other, they will simply slide past each other. For week number 5, the focus is on the convergent plate boundary. So it begins with a pre-assessment or a pre-test. That's 10 items, multiple choice questions. Review. So in the previous lesson, that is on week number 4 module, you've learned that there are three types of plate boundaries, the convergent, the divergent, and the transform fault. And there is a corresponding picture or diagram there of the three types of plate boundaries. Activity number 1 is entitled Head-on Collision Part 1. It is the convergence between a continental plate and an oceanic plate. So, ang panagbangga sa usa ka continental plate ug sa usa ka oceanic plate. Unsa kahay mga processes nga mahitabo ug unsay mga mapurma nga mga geologic features. So there is a picture there that you simply have to analyze, or a diagram. So in the diagram, we can see that there is plate A. Plate A is an oceanic trench. Kay naa niya, babaw niya si ocean. So plate A, kumukolide siya with plate B, and nahitabo niya, it will move underneath plate B. So unsa man ni si plate B? Plate B is a continental plate kay sa babaw niya na ay yuta. So what happens when an oceanic plate and a continental plate will collide or will converge? Ang oceanic plate, because it is denser, siya ang mas bugat, siya mo paubos, siya mo pailaw. It will subduct underneath the continental plate until it moves underneath or underground towards the mantle. There are 6 questions that follow wherein you need to answer. What type of plate is plate A and what type of plate is plate B, and so on. There are 6 questions there. Let us watch this very short video between the convergence of oceanic plate and a continental plate. So here you can see the oceanic plate will move downwards underneath until mapart siya dito sa mantle, wherein there is the molten hot material called the magma. The continental crust also, it will move towards the oceanic crust. So sa may mapurma, when a continental plate and oceanic plate move toward each other, the oceanic plate will subduct under the continental plate. This process is called subduction. Subduction in the ocean continues and it results in what we call as the deep ocean trenches, Cantil, and the formation of volcanoes on the continental plate. Kay mangitag kalutsan ang init jud kaayo nga magma underneath. Nagsige na sila glihok diha, nanay possibility nga nay mga cracks diha nga mo create. So adtong molusot si magma, musaka siya padong sa continental crust ug dito magporma siya diha og volcano. So sa oceanic crust ang iyang maporma trench or cantil. Sa ibabaw sa continental crust ang iyang maporma volcano. Unsa ni sila ang process? Subduction. Again, kay na may movement sa plates, of course, we can feel earthquakes. Discussion. The previous activity depicts what happens during the collision of two plates. Ang usa kay continental, niyang usa kay oceanic. From the diagram, it is clear that the event gives rise to the formation of a volcanic arc. Volcanic arc, muna siya magporma og linya-linya sa volcanoes near the edge of the continental leading plate. The reason for this is because the denser oceanic crust, ang mas bugat or mas dasok nga oceanic crust, undergoes what we call as subduction or the bending of rock towards the mantle. Lupailawon siya. Since the mantle is hotter than the crust, the tendency is the subducted crust will melt, forming magma. Addition of volatile material like water will cause the magma to become less dense. Ang mga butang nga less dense, musaka. It allowing it to rise and reach the crust once again and causing volcanic activities on the continental leading plate. For the oceanic crust, ang maporma dito is what we call as the trench. Another term for a trench is submarine valley. Nani siya ilawom sa dagat. Ocean trenches are the deepest parts of the ocean. Around the world, usa sa pinakalawom nga trench is the Philippine Trench with a depth of 10,540 meters. Another subsequent effect of the continuous grinding of plates against each other is, of course, the occurrence of earthquakes. The subduction of plates can cause earthquakes of varying depths. Most part of the world experiences occasional shallow earthquakes where the focus is within 60 kilometers of the Earth's surface. Kasagaran nga earthquake, basta convergence of oceanic and continental plate, it is just shallow, meaning mabaw, dool ra sa crust ang iyang epicenter. Activity number 2, it is still entitled Head-on Collision, but part 2 already. Kinsa may nag-collide? This time, ang nag-collide, duha ka oceanic plates. The convergence of two oceanic plates. Again, ang inyong buhaton, mag-analyze ra gihapon mo og picture nga nasa inyong module. So there is a picture there of one oceanic plate, kani siya dere, and another oceanic plate, and both are moving towards each other. They are colliding with each other. Questions. There are 4 questions. What geologic processes or event that occurs because of the collision of the two oceanic plates? Of course, earthquake. What geologic feature might form at the surface of plate A? Asa man kaani si plate A? So, na trench along plate A. Along plate B, naa siya gitawag og volcanic island arc. Discussion. Like the first type of convergent boundary discussed in part 1, converging oceanic plates will cause the formation of trenches, cantil, and these trenches will become the sources of earthquake. Underwater earthquake ang mahitabo, especially the stronger ones, will generate what we call as tsunami or a series of ocean waves with varying wavelengths. Kanang tag-as kaayo nga bowed na maabot sa baybayon. It causes large-scale disturbances of the ocean. The leading edge of the subducted plates will eventually reach the mantle, causing it to melt and turn into magma. The molten material will rise to the surface, creating a volcanic island arc parallel to the trench. Volcanic island arcs are chains of volcanoes positioned in an arc shape. Mura siya curved shape. Ma'am, duha man na ka oceanic plates, naada ay mo subduct nila. Pareham ka nag-density ang oceanic plate o oceanic plate, pareha silang bugat. Naday mas mo paubos pag yun nila. Naday mas bugat pa nila. The answer is yes. Dili man parehag edad ang yuta sa ilawom sa ocean. Ang maskaraan nga mga oceanic plates, sila ang mas denser, mas bugat. So between these two, kani siya may ni subduct, so meaning siya ani ang mas dense, kay siya mas tiguang, siya mas karaan, so siya ni paubos. Although pareha silang oceanic plates silang duha, dili necessarily nga pareha sila og density. Kay basig ang kaning usa gaan-gaan ni siya. Kay bag-o siya nga oceanic plate. So ang mas daan, mas tiguang, ang mas bugat nga oceanic plate ug siya ang mo-undergo og subduction. This is a very short video showing or a diagram showing the collision between an oceanic and another oceanic plate. So when one of the oceanic plates will subduct, it will move downwards. It will form what we see here as the trench. And then on the other oceanic plate, the one that will not subduct, a series of volcanoes will be formed, and we call this as the volcanic island arc. Activity number 3. Head-on collision part 3, the collision of two continental plates. Still analysis of a diagram. You are given here a picture of one oceanic plate and another oceanic plate, and they move towards each other and they form a collision zone in the middle. So what happens is they will crumple within the middle and they will form a series of mountains or mountain ranges. There are 5 guide questions to be answered. Discussion. Kung ang duha ka continental plates will converge, a collision zone is formed. Unlike the other types of convergent boundaries, walay mahitabo nga subduction. Subduction ceases for this particular type of convergence. No trench, no volcano, and no island arc is created during the process. Instead, what is created is a large group of tall mountains. We call it as mountain range. About 40 to 50 million years ago, two land masses, the India and Eurasia, collided to begin the formation of the most visible product of plate tectonics, and we call it the Himalayan Mountains or the Himalayas. Makita ni siya na adiri usa sa mga pinakataas nga bukid sa kalibutan, gitawag nato og Mount Everest. Makita nato sa Himalayas. It is between the border of Nepal, Russia, and China. Apart po gyud sa India. Since subduction is impossible between two colliding continental plates, pressure is released by pushing the crust upward and forming the Himalayan peaks. Himalaya is the tallest mountain range in the world. Again, Mount Everest is just one mountain in the Himalayas. It is the tallest mountain of them all. This is a video showing the formation of mountain range between the convergence of continental and another continental plate. Last part of the module is a one question application question. What is the importance of understanding the convergence of plate boundaries? And then an additional activity. You use long bond paper. You illustrate the different types of convergent boundaries. There are three types. Ang una, convergence between continental plate and oceanic plate. Katong ikaduha, the convergence between two oceanic plates. And the third one is the convergence between two continental plates. Then there is a 10-item multiple choice post test. And that's it. And that's it. That's the end of week number 5 module for Science 10. See you in the next video. Bye.